I still remember the smell of smoke that night, not from the fire, from her perfume. It clung to the collar of my shirt when I left for the night shift. Jasmine and vanilla. She leaned in, kissed my cheek, and said, "Be safe." When I came back, there was nothing left to be safe for. The house was gone. The fire chief told me it started near the living room. Faulty wiring, they said. My wife and 6-year-old son were inside. Their bodies were found near the front door. She must have tried to save him, they said. People called her a hero. I called her my world. And then I buried both. I sold what was left of the house. The insurance money went untouched. Blood money, I called it. I quit my job, moved 3 towns over, and learned to live with silence. I tried to forget, but grief doesn't fade. It calcifies. Every night I heard his laugh, his little sneakers tapping down the hallway, her humming in the kitchen. Then one evening, years later, my phone buzzed with a message from a number I didn't recognize. "Hi, I think this belongs to you." Attached was a video. The new owner of my old house had been remodeling. While tearing down one of the walls, he found a small black camera wired into the studs, still intact. The footage was from the night of the fire. I opened the file. There she was, in her nightgown, calm, focused, a matchbox in her hand. She didn't hesitate, just struck the match, watched it burn for a heartbeat, then dropped it into a puddle of gasoline spread along the floor. My son was asleep upstairs. I paused the video halfway through, just before the flames caught the curtains. Her face was lit orange. There was no panic, no fear, just release. And in that moment, my grief died. Something colder took its place. I spent months watching that video, frame by frame, memorizing every movement, every angle. The police had called it an accident because that's what she wanted them to believe. She'd set up the perfect illusion, a short circuit in the wall, a melted wire left near the outlet. She had planned it, but why? It took me a year to find out. A forgotten file in her old email account led me to an insurance document, one that named a man I'd never met as the secondary beneficiary, a man she worked with. Married, 2 kids, clean record. He'd left the company weeks after the fire. I watched him for 6 months. He lived in a bright house with white curtains and a smiling wife. I'd park nearby sometimes, drinking coffee in silence, watching, waiting. That's when I saw her photograph, my wife, hidden in a folder on his Facebook, set to only me. She hadn't just loved him, she'd planned to start over with him. The fire wasn't an accident, it was a reset, except she hadn't made it out. Poetic, isn't it? I didn't want to kill him. Death is mercy. I wanted him to live with the same slow, corrosive pain that I'd carried. So I started with his job. A series of anonymous tips about financial misconduct, enough evidence to get him fired. Then came his marriage, emails sent to his wife, proof of affairs that didn't exist. A photo of him and my wife in bed, digitally recreated, believable enough to shatter trust. Within months, he was unemployed, divorced, and spiraling. He drank, drove, and got arrested. Lost custody of his kids. I watched from a distance, never once feeling pity. When he finally hit bottom, I sent him the video. The same footage I'd watched 1,000 times. No message, just the file. The next day, he called me. I didn't answer. That night, he put a bullet through his mouth. The police ruled it a suicide. No one ever connected me to it. But I knew. I'd buried my revenge as carefully as I'd buried my family. A month later, I visited the graves. My son's stone had a tiny crack near the corner. Frost damage, maybe. I traced it with my thumb. "You can rest now," I whispered. Then I looked at hers. I didn't speak, didn't have to. Her silence was louder than any confession. I left the USB drive on her grave. The same video. The truth she'd hidden from me, buried under drywall and lies. She'd wanted to erase her life and start over. I just finished what she started. Sometimes I wonder if justice is supposed to feel like this, heavy, quiet, hollow. People think revenge is fire. It's not. It's ice. You don't burn, you freeze everything you touch. But at least now the voices are gone. The house in my dreams isn't burning anymore. The laughter fades when I wake, and the air smells clean again. I moved one last time, a small cabin near the water. No neighbors, no memories, just the steady rhythm of waves and wind. Every night I light a candle on the table, watch the flame dance, and before I blow it out, I always whisper the same thing. This time, I hold the match.